Hi everyone, this is audap. Let's check out the Gradius III Super Nintendo version with an SA-1 chip installed running on the MiSTERfpga. Yeah, no, that's a mouthful. So for those of you who are not aware, Gradius 3 was one of the launch titles for the original Super Nintendo or Super Famicom, depending on what region you're in. It's a pretty well done translation of the arcade game. The arcade game is known for its, beautiful graphics and sound, but also for its incredibly difficult gameplay. The Super Nintendo fixes up the difficult gameplay by offering you different levels of difficulty. Also lets you turn on auto power-ups and lets you turn on auto fire as well. But it was notorious for running very, very slow. Now, back in these days, a Super Nintendo game, if the game wasn't able to keep up with the refresh of the TV, the 59 hertz or the, I forget what it is for PAL, but I think it's 50 hertz for PAL, the game would actually draw every single frame, but that would result in the game running slower, as opposed to nowadays where we set our engines to drop frames to maintain the speed of gameplay. So if you see frames missing from a game while you're playing, then that is when you're dropping frames. But if you see the game slowing down, then it's trying to draw every frame while still trying to keep up with the refresh of the display. With the SA-1 chip installed onto a, either you can inject it into a ROM or you can build your own SA-1 cartridge. You can eliminate almost all of the slowdown for very specific games. And this one is just for Gradius 3, but it also works with Super R-Type and I believe Super Contra 3. Although that game doesn't really need it that much, but our Super R-Type does. So let's take a look at the Super Nintendo version. This is one of my favorite games of all time. In fact, I would say that this is probably my favorite Super Nintendo game of all time. But it was very, very flawed when it launched, and 28 years later, someone managed to find a fix for it. So here we go. Okay, let's do that's. And let's do that. Now, of course, if you're familiar with the game, this opening portion of the game doesn't feature any slowdown at all, assuming you can shoot all these ships at the right time. But it isn't very far along into the game where you'll notice slowdown happening. That son of a bitch. I already screwed up my game. I mean, it's probably been at least 20 years since I played this game. I've been trying to play the arcade version that's available in our arcade archives, but that version, it's just too goddamn hard. And honestly, I think this will always be my favorite version, even though the arcade version features some additional enemies that don't appear in the Super Nintendo version. Just the balance of gameplay is much better on the Super Nintendo. And it has the same arcade graphics and sound, so you're really not missing out on anything. Besides, all the slowdown, which was in the original release. Yeah, right here, when the snake comes out, that's when you would notice a fair amount of slowdown. Basically it would reduce it to half the frame rate. Here, of course, we're playing flawlessly without any slowdown. Now, the SA-1 doesn't fix the flicker. There's some occasional flicker in this game. It's really not that bad, but it is noticeable. At least on very specific parts of the game. Yeah, this boss, obviously, it would slow down to half the frame rate as well. Now, the consequence of this, of course, is that while there is almost all of the slowdown eliminated, it also means that there's almost all the slowdown eliminated, so the stages are much, much more difficult running at full speed. In fact, I don't think I can beat this game running at full speed, because all of my muscle memory is based on that slow version. We'll see, though. I don't know. I think by the time we reach stage 4, we'll determine whether or not I can actually finish this game. Yeah, and by the time you'd enter here, at this point, you'd see some dramatic slowdown in the original release as well. But with the SA-1 chip, of course, all of that's eliminated. Like I said, as a consequence, the game is much, much harder. Because you don't have anywhere near the time to react as you do with the slowdown available. What was odd about the Super Nintendo release that although the game slowed down, the music always stayed running at the same speed. So in a way, it was like a chance to listen to the songs even longer than normal. You know? And as I said, this is my favorite version of Gradius. I mean, I definitely got to give a close second to Gradius 5. I mean, that's a unmistakable classic. But I think I still prefer this one over it. I don't know, I bounce back and forth depending on which version I'm playing at the time, honestly. Fucking blob. The blob. Yeah, obviously, if you remember our arcade version play of this, that boss was much harder. You can unlock the arcade difficulty in this game as well. Although I don't know why I didn't want to play that version. It's just so damn hard. I don't think I've ever seen past the 3rd level on that version. And that was on an incredibly good day. I will say I've been very, very happy with the MiSTER. I mean, it's a very expensive solution to your emulation needs, but you do get like 99% accuracy. I mean, most games are 100%, but there are games occasionally that don't meet the 100% criteria. But usually those get worked on by the community pretty quickly. So far, all of the games that I own, that I've dumped ROMs from, run flawlessly. And in this case, you know, I can actually inject the SA-1 chip into this game and make it run better than the original. Like I said, it's a double-edged sword. I mean, it does run better than the original, but it also means that you have much less time to react to all the enemies coming at you. And there are a lot of them in this game. Especially if you play on the hard or the, well, even the normal difficulty, I think it's kind of difficult. Yeah, so you still get a tiny bit of slowdown here. I mean, there's an awful lot for the Super Nintendo to draw, and even the SA-1 chip can't compensate for that. Yeah, it does breathe new life into this game, but I'm not sure if it's for the better, honestly. Yeah, this is where it can be tricky, because now I don't have all that time and space to dodge those lasers. I didn't think it went all the way up. I mean, it has been 20 years. Of course, we could use the Konami code, which actually does work in this game. Let's see, I think you have to use the, top buttons, I think? Yeah. If you use left, right on the D-pad, then it actually kills one of your ships. A bit of cheeky fun from the programmers at Konami. But if you use LR as in the left and right trigger buttons, then the code works to give you full power-ups, minus your special laser. And I think it only works a limited number of times. I think it only works the number of times you have additional lives, I want to say? It's something like that. Fucking it up here. I got nervous. Yeah, like I said, I don't know if I can beat this game without the slowdown. That's what I'm used to. Yeah, it's a much tougher game with the SA-1. I mean, running full speed, Gradius is a very hard game. Even on easy and normal, it's difficult. Ah! Careful. As soon as you shoot that other jewel, then the pattern changes. Ah, son of a bitch! Ugh. Damn it. It's so much harder without the slowdown. It really is. I'm just so used to it being there. Can I use the code again? I think I'm out of chances to use the code. Let's try that one more time. see, he's gonna let me do it. Oh, it is. Okay. I didn't think it would. I thought you had to earn a 1-up port, let you cheat. I also think it's a good idea to have 2 speeds just because the boss is real finicky. Ah, son of a bitch. Oh, I forgot all about that. Ah. I think I'm out of them. Right. Yeah, I'm out. Well, it's pretty tough without the... pretty tough without more power-ups. Oh well, this is mainly a curiosity for anybody that was interested in seeing it. I do have a donor board, so I am going to try to get my copy of Gradius to work with the SA-1 chip physically. Well, right now this is just an injected ROM, but you know, I did dump the ROM myself, so it actually is my copy. Well, I wouldn't shame anybody for using another person's ROM. I mean, the game's like kind of hard to come by nowadays. Which is funny because I think I bought my second copy for like $5 at like Toys R Us when there was such a thing as Toys R Us still. You know, we go from games that have, you know, no demand to all of a sudden, you know, years later they, you know, have an incredible demand. Past this. I need that slowdown, quite frankly. Ugh. Also used to having my ship reduced. We have to go at this again with power-ups. Probably shouldn't continue. Gradius continuing means death, pretty much. Yeah, the good thing about the MiSTER is that it's actually it's easy enough to build and easy to update. There's a lot of good code out there for all the scripting that involves getting updates and getting at least the arcade ROMs. You know, for your console ROMs, you'll have to get them yourself or dump them yourself. But you can get the arcade ROMs from archive.org pretty easily. Ugh. I'm so bad at this game. I'm so bad at this game at full speed. It's such a different game at full speed. I haven't tried the Super R-Type with the SA-1 yet, so I think I need to do that next. But you know, my ROM dumper is real finicky with Super R-Type. I don't know what it is about that cartridge, but a lot of times I'll just get corrupt CRC checks. So it may take me a couple days to get that one working. But as soon as I do, I'll try to play it here. Although again, the game is like incredibly difficult. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing that you'd have the ability to play that one at full speed. I'll say the good thing about the MiSTER is that it's the only emulation of blazing lasers that I can enable all the cheats for. Blazing lasers for the TurboGrafx-16 or the PC Engine. I had a cheat menu that you could enable by powering on the system and holding some buttons, but because normal emulation doesn't simulate the boot up sequence of a piece of hardware, that cheat is like forever lost unless it's on real hardware. You know, even the TurboGrafx Mini, it's not possible to enable that cheat. So you know, these are my justifications for buying this expensive piece of equipment. Although honestly, it does give me a little bit of peace of mind to know that I can keep my TurboGrafx and my Super Nintendo and my Nintendo. You know, I can keep those in pristine condition, store those away, and then I can just use this for when I actually want to play something. At this point in time, I think I've rebuilt my NES 6 times because of that real finicky cartridge slot. And although the cartridge port, it's still available, it's getting more and more scarce. It's kind of harder to get it. I will say it's amazing. The Super Nintendo is like such a great piece of hardware. I mean, even though the plastic starts yellowing, you know, due to age, I mean that hardware still works as long as you keep it clean. You know, that thing will run forever. That and the Game Boy and the Game Boy Advance. I mean, those systems. I mean, you'd have to do quite a bit to them in order to get them to stop working. Then when they started doing all the disc-based systems, very few of those ever survived the test of time. I mean, my GameCube still works, but my Saturn, I don't think that works anymore. I think I can't get power through to it. My Dreamcast just completely stopped working. Which is a real shame, you know, I love that Dreamcast, but boy, that hardware is crap. I wish I could say it was an isolated case, but, you know, most people who own a Dreamcast, especially one, an original release Dreamcast like mine, I mean, you've had to replace that drive a couple times. Should have prioritized the options, I don't know what I was thinking. Because I'm blabbing too much. Oh, it's so weird that it's not slowing down. It just feels wrong. It feels wrong to play a Super Nintendo game that doesn't slow down. I mean, this does make the experience better than the arcade version. Mainly because, you know, the difficulty is like within human possibility. I really fucked up all my power-up order, but oh well, that's alright. Oh, hey, 1/4. Sorry, you've been there for a while. Did I grab the speed up too soon? Oh, wow. See if I can get past level 4. I don't know, I have my doubts. At full speed, I don't know. And I guess I probably shouldn't call the MiSTER that expensive. I mean, if you were to buy the individual systems that this system can emulate with the hardware emulation, I mean, I would have already paid. Like just buying a, the two analog systems, the Genesis and the Super Nintendo, I would have already paid for the MiSTER. So, not like, and I get all the other systems as a bonus. So, it's still reasonably priced, and it's not like I'm paying like a vendor. I mean, I'm paying basically for the price of the hardware itself. I know people look at like the initial price of like, you know, it's like 130, 140 for the main board, the NA10. Then if you want to include the daughter board, you know, the memory expansion is another 100, I think. Then if you want to get the USB and the wireless adapter, you know, you're looking at another 100 and some change. You're probably going to hover around like $200 to $300 or $300 to $400, somewhere around there, if you want like a real complete setup that can play everything. I think it's worth it, but you know, it is a lot of money. I don't even have a case. Like, after I spent that much money, I was like, yeah, well, how important is the case? I'll probably just make one. There are enough schematic out there for a 3D printer. Oh, Jesus, that ship's too fast. Come on, we just want to see the end. I don't know if I can get to it, though. The game's so damn hard. Except for all the veterans out there who are like, wow, man, you suck. Oh yeah, I know. I'm not an expert player, that's for sure. Well, I haven't been an expert player of this particular game for, 20 years. I mean, the game's almost 30 years old now. Which is sort of hard to fathom for me. I can't believe I was that young when I played this game. think the Moai Head level is next, and that is like the hardest level to play without slowdown. Or one of the hardest levels. The plant level is pretty hard too. But the plant boss itself is easy. Option thief will appear now. I'm gonna have full complement of weapons. Such a dick move on Konami's part. Oh, you have full power-ups? Well, we happen to have a creature that will steal your power-ups. What, really? The game isn't hard enough as it is? Oh, this is so different. So different. I'm actually kind of worried about this. This is when they really start pouring it on with the lasers everywhere. You know, it almost becomes a it almost becomes a bullet hell by this point in time. Son of a bitch. Fucking not paying attention. I'm just fascinated by it not slowing down, that's all. At some point in time, I'm going to stop being surprised by it. I mean, I remember this one slowing down, but I don't think it was that big of a deal. It's just weird because the enemies on the top and bottom, and they're kind of hard to reach. I think this level's my favorite level. Or maybe it's the one after this, I can't remember. Yeah, I wish I could play the arcade one, you know, with this level of difficulty. Alas, it is not meant to be. We did not program that easy of a difficulty in that arcade version. It was like balls hard or nothing else in that version. Totally forgot about the fire level. So it must be the next level I like. The plant level is my favorite level. Mainly because the music's so memorable. Interesting to see like the different interpretations of this you know, fire world in different games. Like, especially when Thunder Force 3 came out, like their version of the fire world was like, you know, it was so different. Had that cool, you know, wavy background. Let's see, is this the snakes? I think it's snakes. Yeah. weird for it to run at full speed. Damn it. Damn you, snakes. The snakes are actually easier if I have just a pea shooter. Oh, well, not doing that it is. And I'm waiting for my controller to come in. I'm using a Xbox 360 controller, which is not great for games that use a D-pad. It's supposed to come in tonight. Ah, son of a bitch. I didn't think he was going to die that fast. I thought I had a couple more hits on him still. I have a different option on this one. Yeah, sucks. I don't know if I have any more. Oh, let's do it. What? This is not normal. Yeah, I love this music. It's probably my favorite piece of music in the whole series. Of course, I love that. I love that Yamaha sound. At least in video game music, I don't so like much. I don't like much in like my pop music or anything. But in a video game, it's such a crisp sound. It's so distinctive too. You know, between the Yamaha and the Korg, you know, their influence on the video game music industry is Like, it's so immense. It's probably why I like sounds from those two manufacturers so much, is because of video games. Plus with the core game, you're talking about like some of the most quality piano samples out there. At least if you own a workstation. Ah, son of a bitch. Alright, that's enough of that. I don't need to embarrass myself anymore with my Gradius skills. This is audap. I'm watching Gradius III. This is the Super Nintendo version with the SA-1 chip. This I'm playing a ROM that I injected the SA-1 code into, but I will build a actual cartridge with the SA-1 chip, and we'll run through that one too. The SA-1 adds a higher clock speed to the game, which is why you're not seeing a lot of slowdown, or almost any slowdown for the Super Nintendo game. Again, you can get the injection for Contra 3, this game, and Super R-Type. There might be one other game. I'll have to check the author's page again. But yeah, I don't know if I like it or if I'd rather play the original version. I mean, I think I have the original version here. Of course, the only real difference between the two is that the SA-1 version will run without any of the slowdown issues. Like I said, it's a double-edged sword. You'll have to get used to the speed, which it'll take a while, really, honestly. But kind of in the end, it gives you like more of a challenge. More of a challenge to an already challenging game. So I'm not sure how much you need that. But if you do, you have the option to take advantage of the SA-1, either as emulation or I forgot what button it was from default. Yeah, it's definitely fun to play with. I don't think Contra 3 needs it so much. I mean, there wasn't that much slowdown in that game. So it's kind of curious why they thought that was, one of the games that would be a target for the SA-1. Super R-Type definitely. This game definitely. I'm trying to think of other games that would really benefit a lot from it. A lot of the games, especially later on in the Super Nintendo life, they just they didn't draw as many characters on the screen, and they sort of placed the enemies and the effects, just in a smarter way that wouldn't affect the speed so much. So, developers did get around the limitation later on, but there are definitely games that you can see the slowdown, really affecting it. I can't think of anything else really off the top of my head. But it would be fun to do more of these ROM injections. Wow, I stuck. This is the regular version. It would be fun to do more of these ROM injections, and in fact, I'm probably going to do a fork off the main branch and see if I can mess around with these ROMs myself. But yeah, check it out if you have the means. Like I said, no shame in using the emulator. This game isn't available for sale anymore, and certainly the SA-1 chip is going to be difficult to get. But I'd suggest it. It brings new life into the series, and to this game especially, and I think you'll have fun with it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.